Yes, we are good to go. I want to welcome everybody to today's session, and this session is part of series that we are running on Get Ready for Work series. It's part of American Spaces and Support Program funded by the U.S. Embassy, and we are always excited to bring you this special edition that can boost your jobs, the opportunities that you have to get a job. And today we are discussing a very important topic. We are discussing the do's and don'ts of your CV. What should you do? What should you not do? I remember when I was in uni, I attended a lot of sessions on CV writing, but on many occasions, you never get it right. You don't know exactly whether you're on point or you're not on point, why you should write this and why you should not write this. And I think that's why this session is very important. And I'm hoping that at the end of this session, our expert coming from Careers in Ghana Limited, I'm sure they have had a lot of CV reviews and they have used data to analyze the things that you should do and the things that you should not do. And I hope this session will be beneficial to you. As you join, I want you to invite a friend. I want you to share. Sharing is caring, and I want you to make it exciting. We're going to take 1 minute to invite a friend on board, someone who needs a job, someone who needs to get something right on CV. I want you to go ahead and invite someone, share the link with someone, and let's have a wonderful time. I see our facilitator, Ruth Aglasu, is already online, ready. I can see that she is here. I can see Edith Frempong also, I'm sure from Career Ghana also as well, also ready. I can see the smile on her face, meaning that she is ready to take us to another level. That's very nice. Because of you, I'm also smiling. And so please share the link. Let's get people on board, because one of the ways to economically empower people is for them to get a right job. How do you get a right job? To get your first fruits before the interview is a CV writing. So without much ado, I'm sure people are still inviting their friends, their colleagues to join. Let's have a wonderful session. I now invite our facilitator to take over, and then please take us through the resume do's and don'ts. Though I have a job, I'm still learning, and I'm sure I'm going to learn one thing or the other that could change my resume, that could put me on top of my game. So please, over to you. Please take us through.
Thank you very much, Madam Florence. And I want to use this opportunity to say a thank you to your team for giving Careers in Ghana the opportunity. Ideally, we receive a lot of CVs every single day. There are lots of people out there who need jobs, and we receive a lot of CVs. And when it comes to shortlisting the CVs, we actually have a lot of CVs that are actually chaff, but people don't know that. So this is actually an opportunity to educate people out there, and also maybe to make our work easy when we receive CVs. Because when we receive a lot of CVs, they are mostly chaff, and yeah, this is actually the right platform for this. So I'll start my presentation. So rightly said, my name is Edith, and I'm the Operations and Recruitment Manager for Careers in Ghana. Careers in Ghana is basically a recruitment consultancy. So we offer recruitment services to various companies and offer other consultancy services. So without wasting much time, we'll just go straight to our presentation. So in today's competitive job market, your resume serves as your first impression to potential employers. Like I said earlier, when a job is posted, most of the time we are looking for just one person. So imagine having about 500 to 1,000 CVs for just one job post. That is why you need a CV that will catch the eye of the hiring manager. But what we realize is that most job seekers struggle to create a convincing document that effectively showcases their skills and their experiences. And to help you navigate the resume writing process, here are some of the essential resume do's and don'ts that I would want you to keep in mind. So I'll go straight to my do's. My first point has to do with, sorry, my lights went off, so the generator just came on. Let me move to a more quiet place. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So
The-
whilst we wait for Ede to join us again, I really want you to, if you have a CV, if you have some pointers, if you have some things to share, please let us know the do's and don'ts. What has worked for you when you're writing a CV? What hasn't worked for you? You've got a job. How did you get a job? I want you to share with us. Let us know how you were able to get your job and what you did right and what you didn't do right and what went well and what didn't go well. So let us know and then we'll share. I'm going to read some comments. I remember the first time I applied for a job, I made it to an interview, but I was not taken. So I was wondering, well, my CV got me there. Okay, she's back. Welcome back. I hope you are
yeah.
settled now. Okay,
Yes, I
wonderful.
am. Sorry about that. So you were saying maybe you want to
Uh,
complete what you were saying.
oh, the CV is just one point. It's what gets you into the job. But after
Exactly.
that, you need to do more to be able to do after you need to do more to be able to get what we are doing. And so, I mean, take us through the do's and don'ts of a CV
Exactly.
and help us to be able to get our foot in there. And then I hope that another time we'll be
Exactly.
able to, when we get our foot in there, we'll be able to know what should we do to be able to get to another level of the interview.
Okay. So firstly, as to continue, firstly, you have to tailor your resume for each job application. That is actually what most people don't know. Most people have their CV. So there's this job, I just apply for it. This job, okay, I send my CV and all that. But you actually have to tailor your resume for each job application. This is a strategy approach that can significantly enhance your chances of getting noticed by potential employers. It involves carefully sorry. It involves carefully reading the job description and identifying the key skills, the experiences and qualifications that the employer is seeking. Once these elements are identified, you then adjust your resume to emphasize how your own skills and experience directly align with the job requirements. So this approach demonstrates to the employer that you are not
I hope we have not lost you. You're still with us.
only attentive, but you are genuinely interested in the position. As my network is breaking. Um, is it better now? Close the window.
Yes, it's better. We can hear you loud and clear, and everything is well. Everything is fine at our
Okay.
end. We can hear you. So just go straight to the point.
Okay. So as I was saying, when you actually tailor your resume for each job application, this approach demonstrates to the employer that you are not only attentive, but it means you are actually thorough. We realize that you are interested in the position, and it also shows to us that you have taken time to understand what we are looking for and how you fit into the picture. Let's take this example. Imagine you're applying for a role as a, let's say, a digital marketing specialist. The job description emphasizes the need for experience with less as a digital marketer, as with social media marketing, content creation, and SEO optimization. So, if your resume is currently structured to highlight your overall marketing experience without focusing on these areas, you would revise it to showcase specific projects where you increased social media engagement, where you were able to develop content strategies, or you improved websites SEO rankings. You might also highlight any relevant certifications or courses you have completed. So such a resume would not only catch the eye of the hiring manager, but also make a convincing case why you are the ideal candidate for this role. So, one important point here is to tailor your resume for each role, for each job application. Put in time. Any job you are applying for, don't just say, okay, my CV, then you upload your CV. No, make sure it is tailored towards that particular job you are applying for. Secondly, out one another do you should know is you should use clear and concise language on your resume. Using a clear and concise language on your resume is crucial for making a strong impression on the potential employer. This approach involves selecting straightforward language that conveys your achievements and your qualifications effectively without resorting to jargons or complex, long-winded sentences that will make your message ambiguous. No, bullet points are and they are excellent tools for breaking down information into digestible pieces, making it easier for the hiring managers to quickly grasp the extent of your experience and skills. This clarity and briefness does not only facilitate a better understanding of your background, but it demonstrates your ability to communicate effectively. So, for instance, consider let's look at this. Let's consider the difference between these resume entries, and let me know what you think about it. So, I'm going to read one entry to you. It reads instrumental. So the candidate says he's instrumental in the execution and delivery of a multifaceted project, which necessitated the orchestration of a diverse team of professionals to achieve the overarching goal of enhancing company revenue. That is somebody's experience. Versus this version, let's listen to the second one. It says, led a team to complete a project that increased company revenue. You realize that obviously the second version uses a clear and concise language to quickly convey the candidate's leadership role and the positive outcome of their work. We are not so you shouldn't think that when you are using those complex grammar and those huge languages or jargons, impresses us. No, it doesn't. It actually makes the work difficult for us. I'm not ready to be reading complex um, CVs like that. I just need to know what you are capable of. So you led a team to complete a project and it increased company revenue. I'm good with that. I understand it. But with the first one, I now have to go and take my dictionary and be try to understand what you meant by your by overarching goal of enhancing company revenue. So additionally, if this were part of a bulleted list under a job title, the hiring manager could easily spot this achievement without getting slowed down in unnecessary details. This technique ensures that your key qualifications stand out, making your resume not just a list of experiences, but a convincing narrative of your professional journey that is both accessible and engaging to the reader. So use straightforward and brief language, nothing complex. Just go straight to the point. Let us understand what you have been able to do and what you are capable of doing. If you have any, you could come in at any time with your questions, and I'll be ready to answer.
I mean, there are a
So
couple of
let's
questions online, but we would like to just finish and then we go through the questions. I
sure.
have already two
Okay.
questions.
Okay, that's great. So I would just continue with my do's. So let's look at my third point: quantifying achievements on your resume. So this particular point, I would say, Florence, as you were saying, you are already having a job, but you might want another job somewhere in case. This point is actually very good for your resume. So let's look at quantifying achievements on your resume. It's a powerful way to showcase your impact in your previous roles. You do this by including specific numbers, percentages, or other measurable outcomes. And this provides the potential employers with tangible evidence of your capabilities and the value you bring to the team. What this method does is to transforms abstract achievements into clear, undisputable success stories. So quantifiable achievements can include a wide range of areas. It includes sales increases, cost reduction, productivity improvement, customer growth, and so many others. So, for example, if instead of stating that you significantly increased sales, you could quantify this achievement by saying, let's say, you increased sales by 30%. Let's say in Q1 in 2001, you increased sales by 30%. Or, yes, through strategic marketing campaigns and new customer engagement. You can even say you increased sales, sales increased, let's say from let's say 20,000 to 30,000, something like that. We want to know. It actually catches my eye personally when I see that. So they gives the hiring manager a clear picture of the magnitude of your contribution and the direct result of your actions. Another example could involve, let's say, a project manager who improved. Sorry. So a project manager who improved team workflows, leading to productivity gains. So instead of vaguely mentioning improved team productivity, a quantified statement would be enhanced team productivity by implementing swift methods and reducing project completion um, times by 20%. So you have to put quantify it, put a figure to it. These quantified achievements do not only make your resume more convincing, but it also helps you stand out. So obviously, if I have two CVs and I see one that says that maybe I did this by this percentage, I increased it by this figure and all that, and I have another which just says that I increased sales. Obviously, the quantified one stands out, and it actually stands out in a competitive job market. So by providing clear evidence of your ability to contribute positively to your prospective employers' goals. I would go straight to my fourth point. The fourth point says highlighting transferable skills. This is a vital strategy, highlighting transferable skills. It's a vital strategy for candidates who are changing industries or career paths, basically. So, if these skills that are these are skills that are valuable across various fields and positions, such as communication, problem solving, leadership, time management, and teamwork. Emphasizing on these skills on your resume or during emphasizing on these skills on your resume or during interviews can significantly boost your chances of landing a job, even if you lack specific, let's say, experience in the industry.
Hello,
It
Edith. I
demonstrates.
think we lost your slide. I don't know if I'm the only person who has lost your slide. I can see your slides again. Can you reshare?
Oh, is
If
that so? Let me check. Sorry,
yes,
my lights are out, so I'm sure the network keeps breaking. Sorry.
it's okay.
Let me reshare it.
Okay. So whilst Edith reshare her slides, there are a couple of questions. I hope still keep your questions coming. I have a question. If you don't have if there is no job description, can I do generic CV? One thing fits all. That's one of the questions you need to address at the end of the session. And also, Osia Chow says, are there links to platform or pages for job applications that I can submit my CV or check out, especially for oil and gas industry? If it is, you can also suggest some platforms that people can get jobs, especially for engineering and oil and gas uh, applicants who needs job. If you can address that, that would also be wonderful. I see a lot of people online. Please let us know if you have any questions, any contribution. How did you get a job? How did you go? Was it a great experience for you? I mean, talking about customizing your CV sounds like a big thing, and I hope that it's something that we can all learn from. Edith is back. It,
Yeah.
you're back. Okay. Can
Yes, please.
Okay. So can you share your screen? I mean, one of the
Can you
things
see
I'm
this?
also discovering, no, one of the things I'm also discovering is quantifying achievements. I mean, that's so interesting. And you mentioned a couple of, one of the things I also like you to highlight at the end of the session is how do you really quantify this achievement? I mean, you cited one example. It will be great to also let us know how you quantify achievements. Okay. If you need to, you can turn off your video and just use the slides if your network is giving you issue. That would also be fine with us. Even though we would like
Okay.
to see you as you talk, but you can just share your slides and then please go ahead with the slides. But I think you are mentioning key points that, though it seems trivial, will be very
Yes.
important for us to incorporate into our CVs and will help us. And I'm looking forward uh, uh, to hearing more, especially on transferable skills such as
Yes.
communications to highlight it more. If you know, some people just put it, I am a team player, I'm this, it looks like it's one of the things that people really just put on CV. How do you distinguish if the person truly genuinely have a communication skill? How do I do
Like,
that? It's one of the things that we'd like you to highlight.
okay. So do you have you still can't see my screen?
No, are you able to share your screen? Uh, can anyone see her screen? I can see it from here.
No, please, her screen is not visible.
Whilst we wait, you can take the questions and just send your slides to Estella as well. She can share it as well. We understand the power outages.
Okay, maybe I should send the slides.
Okay. So whilst it is sent a slide for us to preview and share with you. If you have instances where, I mean, I'm sure that when you apply for 100 jobs, Edith should come and tell me what is the percentage rate, your success rate. I'll be wondering. Sometimes you send a lot of, okay, we can see your slides now. Sometimes you apply to so many jobs, only few jobs get to pick you or even get to invite you for an interview. The success rate of applying for jobs. I would like Edith to throw more light on that as well. Edith, you are online now. We can see your slides. We can see the transferable skills, the proof read thoroughly. We can
Okay,
see that
sure.
as well. Please take over.
Okay, so let's go back to the highlighting transferable skills. As I was saying, there are times that you would want to change industries. Maybe you find yourself in one industry, you want to change to another industry. But so you might think that you don't have the experiences for that, but you could actually tailor your CV in a way to attract the hiring manager. So that is what I mean by transferring your skills. So these are skills that are valuable across various fields and positions, such as communication, your communication skills, your problem solving skills, your leadership skills, time management, and teamwork. So emphasizing on these skills on your resume or during interviews significantly boost your chances significantly boost your chances of landing a job, even if you lack the specific experience in the industry. Do you get it? So it demonstrates to the potential employer that you possess those foundational abilities that will allow you to excel in your new role and adapt to changes quickly. For instance, consider a candidate who is transitioning from, let's say, a career in hospitality management to say a project management role in a tech company. You realize that these are two different industries. So while the industries are vastly different, this candidate highlights on his strong leadership skills by providing that let me give you an example. He successfully managed a team of 20 plus staff, leading to an leading to a 40% increase in customer satisfaction rating. Do you get? So here I'm able to identify that he's actually what? A good leader, even though he's coming from a different industry. Well, when it comes to, let's say, problem solving abilities, he showcases that he implemented, a new inventory system that reduced waste by 20%. Then let's talk about, let's say, communication skills. So you don't just say that I'm a good I'm a good leader. I'm good at problem solving. No, you have to let me know how you were able to do it, or how good you are when it comes to these things. Also, let's say when it comes to his communication skills, where he mentions that he cultivated, let's say, through the years of resolving customer complaints and negotiating with vendors. Obviously, this is also a skill that I would want in my industry. So by focusing on these transferable skills, you can show the potential employer that you have a solid foundation of qualities that will enable you overcome the learning curve and contribute positively to the new role in the tech industry. So this approach allows candidates to bridge the gap between different career experiences, making them appealing candidates even outside their original field of expertise. So, um, ideally, you shouldn't be worried that, let's say, you have experience in one particular industry. So, you are wondering how you can transfer from one industry to the other. You can just couch your CV in the way that it will attract the hiring manager, and you are good to go. So you should be able to transfer your skills in a particular way that you would easily get your CV selected. Now let's look at this fifth point: proofreading. Proofreading thoroughly before submitting your CV is actually a very critical step in this job application process. Checking your spelling, your grammar, your punctuation carefully. It is very important. What we realize when we are sorting CVs is realize that people do a lot of copy and paste. They don't really check. What matters is, okay, I have written, I was the, let's say, sales manager. Then they go and list whatever activities or roles they had to do over there. No, even a small mistake, even a small mistake can make you lose can make you look like less professional. It can make you look less professional and not very detailed oriented. So employers usually see your resume as a reflection of how hard you work and how careful you are. Therefore, a resume that is stained with typos or grammatical mistakes can indirectly suggest to potential employers that you may not be careful. Even from your CV, I can tell that no, you are not a careful person. I can tell from your CV that you are not a careful person, and therefore, and that I would also tell that you are not dedicated in your work. So mistakes do more than just look bad on your CV. They can make an employer doubt if you are right for the role, especially in jobs where being accurate is very, very important. For instance, imagine a candidate applying for a role as an editor, applying for a role as an editor to a publishing house, and your resume boasts impressive credentials and and a wealth of relevant experience. However, you overlook a misspelled word and a couple of grammatical mistakes in your resume. So despite your qualifications, the hiring manager will question whether you are fit for the role, given the nature of errors in your documents. Ideally, as an editor, your job is to look out for mistakes and correct them. So if your resume has mistakes, then you are not the right person for the job. So this example underscores the importance of proofreading, not just for catching errors, but for ensuring that your resume accurately represents your abilities and your professionalism. So investing time to review your resume accurately, or even have a trusted friend or a colleague look through it for you. That can actually make a significant difference in how potential employers perceive your candidacy. Another common mistake that people do: phone numbers and email addresses. Oh my God, I get that a lot. Because ever since we had this same registration and all that, some people had to change their numbers. But you'll be surprised to know that most of us haven't done that change on our CVs. You call a number and it doesn't go through, or some email addresses are even wrong. So you should actually have time and go through your CV, proofread every single line, every single sentence. It's very, very important. We look out for all those things, but most candidates do not know that. So that will be for my do's. I'll go to my don'ts. The don'ts are also very important. My first don't exaggerate or lie. So honesty in your skills and accomplishments on your resume is very paramount. Exaggerating or lying, it does not only raise your chances of securing the job, but if these falsehoods are discovered, but can also it can also damage your professional reputation. So employers often conduct thorough background checks. We do background checks as well. So um, there are some candidates who apply for jobs. I actually have one candidate. He applies for every single job. He's always like, he applies for the job. You call him. He's actually very good at writing CVs, because his CV can actually attract you, but they are all lies, because we often have what we do: thorough background checks, reference checks, and even during the interview. During the interview, you can tell. So if these exaggerations initially go unnoticed, the expectations set may exceed your actual capabilities, leading to challenges in your fulfilling role effectively. For example, I once interviewed one guy who applied for a project management position. To strengthen his application, he claimed to have led multiple large-scale projects from. So just imagine how a project management role is. So he's saying that he said that he had led large-scale projects from initiation to completion. When in reality, his experience was just limited to assisting project managers with admin roles. So as I was saying, such resumes will catch your attention. So his resume caught my attention. Obviously, he was invited for an interview. However, during the interview process, specific questions about his project management um, experience revealed inconsistencies in his claims. So it did not just cost him the job opportunity, but also marked him as a dishonest person to me. And this will actually close the door on any future opportunities with any company. So this example illustrates the importance of honesty in job applications and the long-term consequences of attempting to deceive potential employers. Being truthful about your qualifications ensure that you find the right role that is the right fit for your genuine skills and your experiences. So please do not exaggerate or lie. You might land the interview, but you wouldn't make it through the interview. Don't exaggerate or lie. Then I go to my next point: using generic templates. You might ask what the generic template is basically. So some people go online and download templates. I'm not saying it's wrong, but what we realize is that these templates can hinder your job application effectively because even though the template provides a starting point, relying too heavily on them without customizing it can result in a resume that lacks personality and it fails to differentiate you from other candidates. So you realize that there are sometimes I receive CVs and you realize that it's the same templates everybody is using because they don't even put in the effort to customize the templates to fit who they actually are. So what we do is we employers we sift through these numerous applications and a resume that reflects dozens of others does little to capture our attention or to showcase what makes you unique. So customization allows you to highlight on your skills. You can use a template, but make sure that you customize it to highlight on your skills, your experiences, and your achievements that are most relevant to the job you're applying for, making your application more compelling and reflective to your individual journey. So there was this candidate. She was a graphic designer who initially used she used the basic resume template. Luckily for her, I think she's somebody I knew. So luckily for her, she said she found the templates online. So she applied for a role. So and she's actually very talented. So despite her talent and her experience, her responses, you realize that her responses were very limited. So realizing the issue, I talked to her about it. So realizing the issues, we decided that she should revamp her resume, choosing she should choose a layout that will allow her to incorporate her as a graphic a designer, sorry. The layout should allow her to incorporate her design elements that were reflective of her style and her innovative work, which she is capable of producing. So she also restructured her content to feature her most impactful projects, including links. Yes, we made her add links to her online portfolio. And the results was a resume that did not only stand out visually, but it also provided a clear and personalized narrative of her professional background and creativity. So this shift led to a significant increase in interview invitations for her. Ultimately, it landed her a job in a position with a leading design firm. So this experience highlights the importance of using the resume layout that allows for customization, enabling candidates to leave a memorable impression. I would advise you if you want to use the template, I'm not saying don't, but make sure that you customize it to fit your personal skills. But if you put in, I would advise you to put in more effort in your CV. Sit down and create a CV that reflects who you are, your capabilities and your capabilities and abilities. It will actually really help you. So the use of generic templates, it actually gets. You see, we receive a lot of CVs. So when we see a one, it's like this CV is something I'm seeing. I'll obviously ignore it, and that's what people don't know. What matters to them is, oh, there's this job and I've applied for it, and nobody is calling me for an interview. But these are the petty things we are doing. You might think it's not, as Madam Florence we might think it's actually trivial, but they are very, very important. We consider all those things because we don't have time to. We actually have time to go to the CVs, but there are lots of CVs. So you must actually put in so much work on your CV. That is what will actually land you the interview to even get the job. And let's look at the third don't. Don't include irrelevant information. Streamline your CV by excluding irrelevant job experiences or personal details. This is also crucial for maintaining the focus and effectiveness of your application. So, a concise resume that highlights your experiences and skills that are pertinent to the job you're applying for can enhance your chances of capturing the employer's interest. Including these non-relevant information, it does not only dilute the impact of your relevant qualifications, but also risks overwhelming the reader with unnecessary details. Imagine 1,000 applications, and I'm reading about things that are not even relevant in your CV. Even that alone will put me off. I'll put your CV somewhere. So ideally, we can't have time sifting through irrelevant details. Employers value the ability to discern what is truly significant in your professional history as it relates to the position at hand. So if we consider what I said initially about tailoring your CV. Just go, let us know what you are capable of doing. Writing, having a 2 page or 3 page CV, that is not what will land you the job, trust me. So let's consider the case of Anna. She applied for a position as a digital specialist. Initially, her resume included her work experiences. You know, sometimes people have internship. Oh, I did an internship here. I did a volunteer job. We are not saying don't include it, but try to make sure that it is not irrelevant information. It must be actually relevant to the job you are applying for. You get it? So
Okay. Uh, Edith will join us soon. She's talking about some relevant points, and I'm sure that you can ascertain to some of the things that she is saying. And personally, I was blown away by adding links to CVs. I'm sure that when she's done, she's going to really, people will have questions. We are almost wrapping up, so if you have any questions, please let us know.
okay,
And okay, she's back. Thank you.
okay, sorry, I went to offering. So don't worry, I'm almost done. So as I was saying, so we advised Anna on her resume. We asked her to focus on her marketing roles and be specific to us. So she also briefly mentioned her leadership role in a significant, like, let's say, project that she did to highlight her leadership skills, making sure it's directly related to the skills that is required for the marketing position. So this targeted approach resulted in a simplified and impactful resume that demonstrated her qualities. So this experience illustrates the importance of actually tailoring your resume. It also kind of supports the tailoring your resume. Don't include irrelevant information. Trust me. It's a put off for hiring managers. And this fourth point, this one, I'm sure about more than 50% of us here do it. Almost most people do it. The references. Listing references on your resume is a common practice that many job seekers might consider as part of their application strategy. However, just know that this approach is increasingly considered outdated and it's unnecessary because as employers, um, now what we do is we request for these references at the latter stage in the hiring process. So by omitting references on your resume, you're able to save valuable space that can better be utilized for highlighting your skills or your experiences or your achievements. The space saving measure allows your resume to remain focused and concise. Do you get it? So we once advised a candidate who had a decade of experiences, but she didn't have so much space because I told you that we don't want a long resume. So if you have space to input some of your experiences or your capabilities, put them there. Don't waste space on your references. Because don't waste space on your references. Usually we request for the list of references at the latter part of the recruitment process. We have even observed that um, people list their friends and their loved ones as their references. When you see the references, oh, usually that's what we all used to do. You write maybe a boss, but you realize that it was a friend. So they are not able to even give you a better referral because most of these referrals tend to be biased. So what we do now is to contact the HR directly. What we do, we contact the HR directly of your previous organization. So don't bother yourself listing the references. We never use them. We never use them. Use the extra space for something else. Because mostly those references, they are not genuine. Then my last point, because we are out of time, don't forget to update your resume regularly. It's very important. I'll give you a scenario. There was this guy um who hadn't updated his resume in over 2 years because he wasn't actively looking for a job. Maybe I feel uncomfortable here, so I'm not looking for a job. So he didn't bother to update his resume. But suddenly there was this dream job opportunity that came. And he realized that his resume didn't include his latest projects, which involved what the employer was actually interested in. So hastily, he tried to update his resume, but under the pressure of time, he struggled to articulate his recent experiences. And this experience taught him the importance of regular updates. Afterwards, what he did was he set a calendar reminder to review and refresh his resume every 3 months, incorporating his recent projects, his skills that he's acquired, and any new responsibilities or achievements. So the practice did not only make his resume current and comprehensive, but it actually reduce the stress of preparing for future job applications. So I advise you to constantly update your resume. Um, by following these various points that I have mentioned, the do's and don'ts, you can actually create a very good resume, and that captures the attention of employers and to increase your chance of landing interviews. You should always remember that your resume is your personal marketing tool. So invest time and effort to make it shine. Thank you. I guess I have so many questions.
Thank you, Edith. We have a lot of questions already. And so I will
Yeah.
just highlight the questions and then we have some few minutes to go. And I'm sure that you would find time to join us next sometime again to continue this discussion. I'm sure this
Sure.
discussion is very deep. And so we wouldn't have time to cover all the questions. Like I mentioned before, there was an initial question from Owusu. He wants to know if there are platforms for people who have studied engineering or who want to work in the oil and gas industry, if there is a specific platform they can get access to job opportunities. The second question, if you don't have job description, can you, so for instance, if I want to apply for a job at the bank and there is no job description, can I do a more generic CV and just send it to a couple of banks? Is that also accepted? Uh, do I need to customize that? And then the other questions are, how relevant is degree in humanities when you're applying for an accountancy job and you have a degree in humanities? Is that relevant? Or you should explain gaps in your CV because what are some of the gaps in your CV because you think the information is very relevant? That is another question. I'm sure you're noting down the questions because the questions have just piled up.
Yeah.
Okay, the JD requires, the job description requires references. Do I need to add them to it if the JD requires references? And last but not the least, though I have a list of other questions that I want to ask you because of time. I reserve that and possibly consult you for CV update us. I haven't updated my CV in a while. What should a resume of a fresh graduate look like? And this is a popular question. If I don't have a job, I don't have a job
Yeah.
experience, work experience, what should my resume look like? So these are the questions for you. We are almost out of time, so you can touch on the questions. And I'm sure there are other questions that are coming, but I'm sure that we should have a part 2 of this and we should look at it. But in the meantime, I also want you, whilst you are planning your answers for the question, I want you to join our WhatsApp group, our Telegram group. We also have an evaluation for you. Please fill the evaluation form for us to know how this program is helping you. And if through this program you also got a job opportunity, let us know, because it's one of the things that we want to do. And it's one of the things that we would say that we are achieving success in helping people to get a job. Over to you, Judy.
Okay, thank you, Florence. I would actually start with I think the last one about the recent graduate. So I would give one advice. I remember when I finished the university after my service, I was looking for a job. One of my bosses gave. Lately, you realize that most employers are looking for experience here. He advised me that instead of me looking for, let's say, a permanent job, why don't I do just go for internship program, like go to a company and apply for internships. Most of these companies wouldn't mind giving you these internships, and these internship programs actually help you with your experiences in the job industry, and that you can use to build your CV. Ideally, it's just unfortunate that most job seekers are looking for experiences. So to develop your experience, I advise you to actually go for these internship programs. It will help you with your experiences. And as I mentioned earlier, you might not have the specific experience the person might want. So this is when you have to actually highlight on your skills. Try to highlight on your skills what you are good at. Some of the skills actually catch our attention. So instead of talking about maybe your experience in this job, just highlight on your skills. It might help. I hope this answer has it will be helpful. Highlight on your skills. Yes. And with no yes. Then let's look at the question about the engineering platforms. So I would talk to my team and I would share some of the platforms with let's say Estella. Maybe she would eventually share on your various platforms so that you can join. It's actually very good to join some of these platforms. Sometimes when I have job roles, when it's actually, let's say, an engineering role, I actually post the job on these platforms. If it's an accounting role, I post it on this platform. So yes, I would ask my lady to work on the share the platform with Estella. So the person who wants the platform, I would help you with that information.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And so this means that if you're not on our WhatsApp platform, please, the Telegram pages, the
Yes.
pages are there. Please join so that we can share these platforms for you to benefit. Please go ahead, Edith.
So in the situation where you don't have a job description, but just the title of the role, ideally, most jobs come with job descriptions. But if it's just, let's say, as you mentioned, um, you want to apply to a bank, I would advise you to actually research on what the company does. Research on what the company does. When you know what the company does, then that way you would know how to tailor your CV to actually meet what they might require. That is what I advise you to do. So it's actually good to research a lot. If you know what the company does and what you want to go, you see, you should be specific about what you want. You should actually know what you want. So maybe I want to be, I don't know, maybe a customer service personnel in this company. You research on what the company does, and also on what a customer service person. I'm not asking you to lie, but you should actually tailor your talk about your skills and your experiences to meet what the company actually is into. So if you don't have a job description, research on the company and your role that you want to perform there and tailor your CV to meet that. Then let's see which other one is asking about tailoring your, I don't know if Florence you mentioned you talked about that. He's saying that
Tailoring
should the
and
job quantifying, sorry, quantifying achievements, where does it go? Should it go under your job experience? Yes. So let's say I was the I was a sales manager in this company. So under, let's say this company A role sales manager, then you talk about what you did there. So and that's what you did in that company. You let me know that I increased sales from this percent to this percent, and within, let's say, 3 months or within the first quarter. Do you get it? So let it go under that. Some also, you can equally put it in your achievement, where you create another part and go to your achievements and also let me know what it doesn't really, it's not really specific as to where it should be. As long as it's on your CV and I can clearly identify it, why not? Yes. Then what
there's a
other?
question about how relevant is degree in humanity when you're applying for a accountancy job, and that explains the gaps in CV because you think the information is irrelevant. And that also ties to my question at the beginning of your presentation. You mentioned that most CVs are chaff, contain chaff. I mean, these are the last concluded, the last questions. If you can expand why CVs are chaff, and also
So okay.
tie into this question of what's the relevance a degree in humanity when you're applying for an accountancy job.
So if you have a degree, you see, how do I put it? When it comes to certain jobs, say like saying you have humanities and you want to apply for, let's say, an engineering job. Some of the jobs, let's be realistic, you need certain qualifications. You can't just apply for any job. You need certain qualifications. Obviously, as an accountant, you must know accounting. You must know accounting. So when it comes to applying for some jobs, let's actually go apply for jobs which are actually more geared towards what we know. There are some jobs that maybe with humanities you can do various jobs, but for, let's say, an engineering job or an accountancy job, you actually need the qualification and some the certifications on some of these jobs. Without the certifications or for some of these jobs, you can't do it. Most accounting jobs, they want you to have the ACCA and the ICA, and without that, you can't get that. So yes. And talking about the chaff, the beginning, yes, I mentioned chaff, and you realize that somewhere I talked about irrelevant information. That's
Mm.
chaff. There are some informations that are not really related. As I mentioned, maybe you are applying for a marketing role. In applying for this marketing role, we are talking about a role you did which is not related to what I'm looking for. Do you get it? Let's just
Yes,
make
I
sure
get.
that you tailor your CV to meet what we are looking for, basically.
Okay.
Any other
Okay.
question?
No, there is no other question, and I really want to thank all the participants for joining us today. And we're going to put there a couple of other questions coming up, and our Estella, please pick these questions. We would liaise with Careers in Ghana Limited to provide the answers in our WhatsApp chat. So this
Yeah.
session does not only end online, we are taking the conversation offline to also create an engagement on our platform. If you are not on our Telegram pages, our social media pages, please kindly join. And I just want to say that thank you very much for making time, Careers in Ghana, for supporting us. And also thanks to the U.S. Embassy in Ghana. And this is part of American Support Program brought to you by Mobile Ghana, American Corner Global, and the U.S. Embassy. And we hope to see you another time when we are bringing part 2 of this edition. And I hope that you enjoy. If you have any question, please let the platform be more engaging. It's a place to also ask your question. And I'm sure at a point, Edith and her team will also join our platform and they can answer your questions from there.
Sure,
Thank you,
yeah.
Edith. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who made it, who invited somebody to join. We hope that you'll be able to get a job from now on and also through this program. Enjoy your week and happy Easter to you all as well. Thank you. Bye.